H. Hello students, today I am going to deliver a lecture on interpersonal communication. Let's start with introduction. People skill or interpersonal skills are an essential ingredient for success in anyone's career. These skills create a positive communication climate in which people feel valued. The key factors of building a positive environment in all areas of one's life are interpersonal communication, active listening, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence, which during a conflict focus on solving the problems. Or in other words, we can say when conflict take place, the active listening, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence solve that conflict, can able to solve that conflict. Interpersonal communication differs from other forms of communication in that there are a few participants involved. Those interacting are in close proximity to each other. There are many sensory channels used and feedback is immediate. Let's see what are the principles of interpersonal communication. First one is interpersonal communication is incapable. The very attempt to not to communicates something through not only words but also with tone of voice, gestures, postures, etc. We always communicate something. When a baby is born, he also he cries and indicate that he has taken birth in this world. Interpersonal communication is irreversible. You can't really take back something once it has been said. Its effect will inevitably remain. Next is interpersonal communication is complicated. No forms of communication is simple due to involvement of a number of variables. It is contextual. Communication does not happen in isolation. The needs, desires, personalities are the communicators, all form of psychological context. Relation context. It concerns reaction to each other. For example, when sender send a message, then that message will encode, the sender will encode the message and by the help of medium, and it reaches to receiver, and receiver decodes that message and give his feedback, his or her feedback. Next is situational context. It deals with the psychosocial where one is communicating. For example, an interaction that takes place in classroom will differ from one that takes place in boardroom. Environmental context. Environmental context deals with the physical, where one is communicating, location, noise level, temperature, season, etc. are all the examples of factors in the environmental context. Next is cultural context. Cultural context includes all the learned behavior and rules that affect the interaction. That is, if you come from a culture where it is not considered rude to make prolonged eye contact, you will avoid eye contact out of politeness. Whereas if the other person comes from a culture where long direct eye contact signals trustworthiness, then we have in the culture context a basis of misunderstanding. Let's see the functions of interpersonal communication. Gaining information is the first and most important function. We engage in interpersonal communication to gain and exchange information from one another. Second is building understanding. It helps to understand better what someone says in a given context. Third is establishing identity. We also engage in interpersonal communication to establish an identity based on our relationship and the image we present to others. Next one is interpersonal needs. We also engage the interpersonal communication to express interpersonal needs, which as identified by Williams Spruce are inclusions, affection and control. Remember these three: inclusions, affection and control. Now for interpersonal communication, active listening is must. Listening happens when we understand the message as intended by the sender. Hearing is through ears and listening is through mind. Active listening helps in building strong person relations, learn about important happenings in an organization, aids the organization in carrying out its mission and assist individuals in advancing their careers. So there are some guidelines for active listening, like look at the person and suspend other things you are doing in order to understand the other person's intentions and concern. Second is be interested in what the other person is saying. Next is listen carefully, listen to tone and inflection, pay attention to body language of that person. Next is restate what the other person said or what the other person is saying. Ask questions when in a while to clarify the meaning which is you are unable to understand. Beware of your own feelings and opinions. Let's see what is critical thinking. Critical thinking is the discipline of rigorously and skillfully using information, experience, observations, reasoning to guide your decisions, actions and beliefs. It means questioning every step of your thinking process. Have you considered all the facts? Have you tested your assumptions? If in your reasoning sound, can you be sure your judgment is unbased? Your thinking process logical, relational, or complete? To do critical thinking effectively, you need to develop some skills like analyze cause and effect, classify and sequence, compare and contrast, infer, evaluate, predict, observe, rationalize, prioritize, summarize, and synthesize. What are the qualities of a critical thinker? The qualities of a critical thinker is being open-minded, willing to accept and explore alternative approaches and ideas, well-informed, knowing the fact and what is happening on all fronts, experimental, capable of thinking through what if scenario and to develop probable options and then test the theories to determine what will work and what will not. Contextual, that is keeping in mind the appropriate context which thinking thinks through. Reserve in making conclusions, that is knowing when a conclusion is a fact and when it is not a fact. Let's learn about emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence refer to the capacity of recognize your own feelings and those of others, for motivating yourself and for managing emotions well in yourself and your relationship. Emotional intelligence also describes abilities distinct but complementary to academic intelligence, the purely cognitive capability measured by IQ. Competencies associated with emotional intelligence are as personal competence. Personal competence is all about how to manage yourself. That self-awareness, that is self-awareness which includes emotional self-awareness, accurate self-assessment, self-confidence, self-management, self-control, and adaptability. Second is social competence. Social competence is all about how to manage your relationship. It is it has two aspects. First one is one which is social awareness, that included includes empathy, organizational awareness, etc. And the second is relationship management, which includes influence, developing others, inspirational leadership, etc. So thank you very much.